have these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough.
Video showing agents forcibly removing a woman from a daycare.
Watched a 1-year-old little girl left alone in a car while ICE agents arrested her father, who is a U.S. citizen.
News about a dozen illegal immigrants were hauled off by federal agents this morning during an ICE roundup.
I believe in securing our borders.
Our borders are not secure.
Securing our borders.
We have made historic investments in manpower, technology, and infrastructure to help secure our borders.
7 people were detained, including a toddler.
Agents detained more than 300 undocumented immigrants.
We've arrested illegal aliens from over 30 different countries.
Media coverage of undocumented communities exhibits significant differences across different outlets. Particularly those associated with the political right use language and framing devices that have been characterized as polarizing or abstain. Media often pairs immigration news with chaotic images from the border regardless of the connection to the story. The media significantly impacts immigrants' lives by shaping public's perception and influencing policy decisions. With positive and negative results, mainstream outlets often hyper-focus on border narratives, frequently ignoring broader immigrant stories. This slide highlights the critical role language plays in media coverage of immigration, showing how terminology is used to frame the public narrative. The column on the left uses terms that are neutral, humanizing, and focused on legal status, like undocumented immigrant or path to citizenship. These terms encourage empathy and understanding. In a sharp contrast, the column on the right uses terminologies that are threatening, dehumanizing, and criminalizing, like illegal alien, smuggled, or invasion. Ultimately, the media's choice between these two sets of words determine whether immigrants are portrayed as contributing individuals or as a collective threat that needs to be controlled and feared.
The easiest image for the American media to use when it comes to immigrants is right on the border, is of streams of people coming in, either swimming through the Rio Grande or lining up or walking through miles in lines across the Sonoran Desert. And those images just make it seem like it really is a true invasion. It's sensationalized. That's what media does. Media always sensationalizes. The media always simplifies the issues at hand. So when the American public sees all these people coming into the United States, then the easy response is, okay, let's stop it by putting a bunch of military men there.
Our research consisted of content analysis to answer a question: how does media frame immigrants? We analyzed articles, videos from news outlets, and experimental data published within the last 10 years, and compared how often immigrants were viewed as a benefit or a threat. In a recent study conducted by YouGov, 3,000 respondents were asked about their favorability towards either immigrants, illegal immigrants, or undocumented immigrants. The results of this study directly relate to the language we use in media and how it changes the perception people have towards immigrants. When asked about immigrants, there was not much difference between positive and negative opinions, but there were more negative opinions. When asked about illegal immigrants, there was a much bigger percentage of negative opinions, and when asked about undocumented immigrants, there was almost 40% having negative opinions. Now let's focus on the results from individuals based on their political party and race. These two factors have an impact on what type of media they consume and how it's framed. Overall, Democrats had a higher percentage of positive opinions for all three groups, while Republicans had a high rate of negative opinions for the three groups. In media produced by conservative Republican outlets, we have seen negative language against immigrants, which leads to more prejudice and discrimination towards these groups. In media produced by Democratic news outlets, we see more neutral language and positive representation of immigrants.
This slide demonstrates the profound effect that constructive media coverage can have by focusing on the cultural enrichment and social contributions that immigrant communities bring. The goal of the positive framing is to transform public perception by achieving three main outcomes. First, by cultivating a deeper sense of understanding and connection, it humanizes the immigrant experience. Second, by amplifying their narrative, it ensures their voice are prominent and heard. And third, it showcases their economic and societal achievements, thereby validating their essential role in our collective life. This chart clearly shows the two different ways media affects immigrants' lives. When the media is fair and positive, it does a lot of good. It helps people understand each other and feel connected, which helps immigrants fit in and feel accepted. It also makes sure immigrant stories are heard and highlighted all the good things they do to our country. However, when the media is unfair or negative, it causes real harm. It creates and spreads bad ideas or stereotypes about immigrants. These bad ideas often lead to harsh rules and negative opinions from the public. Ultimately, this harmful coverage results in people being treated unfairly or left out, which can cause a lot of stress and worries for immigrants and their families.
The logic is immigrants are criminals and immigrants are Latinos. So hence Latinos are criminals.
To move beyond the current cycle of biased reporting and truly balance the narrative, our core recommendation is simple and straightforward. We propose that news outlets implement an immigrant voice quota. This would be a self-imposed rule for every official perspective, whether that be from a politician, an enforcement agency, or a government official. A direct quote or personal viewpoint from an immigrant or their family members must also be included. Why is this crucial? As we saw earlier, biased media often fails to humanize the conversation. Currently, the narrative is often dominated by those with institutional power. This quota changes that dynamic. It ensures that human impact of policies and political rhetoric is immediately visible. It makes it impossible to discuss immigration purely as an abstract political or legal issue without acknowledging the individuals and families directly affected. Implementing this quota would be the most effective way to foster empathy and dramatically increase the visibility of immigrant voices. To support the shift towards balance and positivity, newsrooms should also adopt these ethical and editorial best practices. First is mindful language. Avoid dehumanizing or criminalizing terminology such as illegal alien or metaphors like flood or invasion. Instead, use accurate, respectful, and neutral terms like undocumented immigrant, asylum seeker, or unauthorized immigrant. Secondly, they should provide historical context. When reporting on a current immigration policy or debate, provide historical context to explain the long and complex history of immigration in this country. This helps the audience understand the broader structural nature of the issue beyond the immediate political conflict. And lastly is hire diverse staff. Actively recruit and hire immigrants and first-generation Americans in reporting, editing, and leadership roles. Journalists with first-hand experience or deep community ties are better equipped to cover immigrant communities accurately, ethically, and with more cultural competence.
We are a nation of immigrants, and that means that we're constantly being replenished with strivers who believe in the American dream, and it gives us a tremendous advantage over other nations.
We are not machines. We are not criminals. We are the backbone of our food system, and we are tired of being treated as disposable.
Farm workers are planning to walk off the job to show how much they matter to the U.S. economy.
For newcomers to the United States are much more likely to work in really tough jobs, be prepared to start at the bottom of the economic ladder, stay longer in jobs. They're also more likely to start new businesses. That means they end up paying taxes and employing other Americans.
Unless you're one of the first Americans, a Native American, you came from someplace else. Somebody brought you.
Leave us alone, because we're coming over here to war. We're not coming over here to rob. We're not coming over here to do things wrong.
I think what we're seeing in the United States today is an enormous hostility towards immigrants.
My parents brought me here when I was 7 years old, and ever since then I haven't seen my dad.
Families were given just 4 minutes to hug, laugh, and cry, not knowing when they'll get to see each other again.